Before I get started, you know the drill. Go to my Twitter page. I'm going to put it on the bottom, and you guys can go to Twitter, Vimeo, or Vimeo, whatever that's called, and WordPress, and subscribe and follow. Follow me on WordPress, Vimeo, and Twitter, because you never know when I'm going to lose this YouTube page. Now, I want to talk about gun control. A woman on my Facebook page had posted an old article titled "Trump Signs Bill Revoking Obama-Era Gun Checks for Mental Illness." I read the article and then I responded and said, "This is an old article." She responded and said, "Yes, but it's more relevant today than ever. We need P45 in our government to create tougher gun regulations, not less. We also don't need people with histories of violence and mental illness carrying around guns, or for regulations to be revoked until better, more comprehensive regulations are put in place." Now, she's only mimicking what she heard in the media. Now, people with histories of violence and they have mental issues cannot obtain a firearm legally. And if they do have a firearm, it's illegal. But then again, who's to say who has a mental issue? Because I can say she has a mental issue. She may say no until one day someone angers her, or she's under stress and then she do something under stress. And then people that's close to her or that know of her may say, well, she had mental issues because she had a bad temper, or I remember when she beat her child, or I remember when she got into a fight at school and she lost control of her emotions. We tried to pull her off of this girl and she just lost her mind. So then she would be labeled, not documented, but labeled with a mental issue. Now, I had made videos in the past saying that people got to be careful when they start labeling people with a mental issue, and people need to start taking responsibility for their own actions. Now, I responded to her and said, do criminals follow gun laws and regulations? And then I posted the article of that martial art expert that fought off 5 machete robbers in his home at 3 a.m. in a place where they had gun control. See, he was unarmed, but he had 5 robbers coming to his house. And then I posted another article, which is an old article, which I'm going to also put that on the bottom, where 29 was killed in China with a knife, almost twice as much as the worst shooting here in the United States, which recently happened, which was 17 students killed in that school. And this article is titled, "Knife-Wielding Attackers Killed 29 at China Train Station." This was in the media. Now she responds and says, "How and why do you think criminals get guns?" And of course, she's going to do what people on YouTube say, research. And I said, black market. Do you realize how easy it is to get my hands on an illegal, keep in mind, illegal gun? Don't believe the media brainwashing hype. I've had dudes come in my store offering to sell me guns extremely cheap. And then I put I'm prior military and have been legally armed since the early 80s. Don't you think I'd be more of a threat if I was a criminal? Now stop right there. Think of all of the guys and women in this country that legally own guns. These are people that went through the proper channels to become legal. Why? Because they don't want to be illegal. They don't want to be criminals. They are not on the side of criminals. Their motive and intention is to do the right thing and to be able to protect themselves and their families. But just think if all of these people were unarmed. Just think if a law came down and they confiscated every legal gun owner's firearm. Then, in order for those people to possess a firearm, they now have to be illegal, which makes them a criminal. This country better thank its lucky stars above that I'm on the good side. They should be thankful that I'm a legal gun owner. Because just think if all of these legal gun owners are now considered illegal and criminals. Think of the number of gun violence or murder rate that will grow here in the United States. Just think about that for a moment. You got all these people that's legal, that's on the good side. Now, what do you think will happen if these people turn evil and allow their emotions, their anger, to get the best of them? Because you're illegal anyway. You have an illegal firearm. So it would be much easier for you to use that illegal firearm. And there's no way that that firearm can be traced back to you because it's not registered. You now have an unregistered firearm that can't be traced. More than likely, they would probably sand off the serial number, scrape off the serial number. And it would be so easy for them to take a life, and that firearm won't be able to be traced. Unless, of course, their fingerprints are on it. But a person like myself, that's military trained, that's on the good side. Just think if I was on the opposite side, how much more deadlier I would be. Because then I would have nothing to lose. So I'd allowed my emotions, my anger to get the best of me. And guess what? I would have reacted every time someone crossed me wrong. I would have reacted. And another life would have been taken. Just think if I was struggling financially. Say, if I was going through the child support system and I got my paycheck and my paycheck was only $44 because the rest of it went for child support. What do you think I would do in a situation like that? Become a drug dealer. I'm illegal anyway. I'm possessing an illegal firearm. So I'm going to go out there and hustle. Guess how many lives could possibly be taken as a result of me being on the left side? As a result of me possessing an illegal firearm. Because it appears that the criminals are a protected class because no one is going after their guns. So don't you think it would be much easier to be a criminal? It would be much safer to be a criminal until you're caught because no one's thinking about your firearms. They're thinking about the people that's already documented, that's on paperwork, that's legal, that went through the correct channels, that don't harm anybody. Go to the pistol range, go to work, come home, protect yourself and your family. But yet those people are the ones that's under attack. But what about the criminals that have a history? Do you think that they would actually follow rules and regulations? Do you think that they would actually follow the law? No, they broke the law because they are criminals. That's what they do. But just think if all of us that's legally armed become criminals. Just think of the numbers of bloodshed that will grow here in the United States. Think of the number of people that will actually pull off armed robbery. Your grandma won't be safe. Your granddad won't be safe. You won't be safe. It'd be easy to break into your house or go up in the store, become a stick-up kid. Why? Because you have nothing to lose anyway. See, there's a lot of people that's struggling, but yet because of the fact that they recognize they have an obligation. They have an obligation. They are legal. They know they're legal. Now, there's going to be, every now and then, there's going to be someone that under stress do something that they shouldn't do. And they're legal, but just think of the number compared to those that are illegal that's committing crimes out there. Now, she says, in response, guns, and she put in bold letters, have killed more people than other weapons here. However, it would be great if all Americans were taught self-defense from childhood. Now, that video I posted of that man in the UK that was a martial art expert, he could have lost his life. Machete, golf club, baseball bat. He was attacked in his house. Now, he could have gotten struck in the head with the golf club and lost his life easy or paralyzed. He's just lucky he got out of that situation. But this is a stupid comment, because if the criminal is armed and he come in there with a gun, there's no way that that person that's taught self-defense from a childhood is going to defeat that bullet that the criminal has. Right? So what I did was I posted a video, an old video that I did, and I'm going to put that video on the bottom, that's titled Proof That Guns Don't Kill People. Killer kill. Killer kill. And for those of you who have been on my channel for a while, you're familiar with that video because I set my 6 Sauer in front of me, loaded, and I commanded it to shoot me. And it didn't shoot me. It didn't have the power or the authority or strength to do that. So no, guns don't kill people. Just like knives don't kill people. Cars don't run over people. People do it. Right? So feedback, tell me what you think. Subscribe. Go to my Twitter and follow me on Twitter. I posted on the bottom the Vimo, or whatever that's called, and then WordPress. Until next time, I'm fearless.